Alrighty, it is currently 5:11 p.m. and I want to show you with regard to analyzing the environment. This is the same laundry room area where I was at this morning, where I was catching the video at 10 o'clock, where the demons license 9 FKA 729 targeting me with, again, terrorism, sexual violence, and also psychological torture all at play, pursuant to the admission of a stalker that is targeting on behalf of the government, and doing so under what is the fake sun that was over the edge of this sun, where you see extended stay rates available. And that was at 10 a.m. as I'm also capturing video at 9:19 a.m. This is the same building, and here is the fake sun. This is my shadow right here that's reaching across to touch the demons that are stalking, keeping me under surveillance in my hotel room, anticipating my presence here. You know all of that about their mental illness and their criminal stalking based on the presence of a fake sun over the same building. The entity has these ornaments in the sky space, right? You're looking at that. And this is where the fake sun was. The picture that I took at 7:39, and this is license 7PJB400. You will be deporting immigrants. Anybody that's an immigrant, they're gonna be deported. Their family's gonna be deported. The entity, this is where the fake 7:39 a.m. Okay, the fake sun over the same building. And the entity is engaged in what is ongoing harassment. These are demons sharing what are harassing me, while the entity is maintaining amplified audible activity. This is mental illness. These are sex offenders stalking a woman. This is gang violence that's conducted on behalf of the government that is conspiring murder. Murder of the American citizen that is being kept under surveillance by a demon-possessed population at that. They are stalking as I'm walking in and out of the room. They're stalking me where I'm positioned inside of my apartment. Inside of my apartment in Alvarado. But I'm currently at Ontario Airport. This is stalking for purposes of crossing path, not coincidentally walking by under a fake sun that's over the same building. This is nowhere near, by the way, not only the Ovid Family Community Library, but this is not over the edge. Speaking to what Jason Reed is engaging in Montclair, California, in other words. Mike Lorenz is exposed as a domestic terrorist, and so is Derek Williams, while a fake sun remains over me in Ontario. And that agency has maintained a pattern of documented kidnappings upon criminal defamation, targeting with the population that engages in criminal summoning, doing so under the science which is going to serve to prosecute terrorists and put them in prison where any foreign and domestic enemy of the United States belongs. The entity has the fake sun over me at 5:05 p.m. in Montclair, California, where the 10 freeway is engaged in surveilling a woman. This is gang violence, and that's a population that knows exactly where I'm at. That's an ongoing pattern throughout my evidence, which you will hear ongoing amplified noise, heightened volume with regard to the damning and indicting audible activity regard to my evidence that I capture. The entity will try to overwhelm what it is that I'm speaking. Jason Reed is being documented with regard to the city of Montclair that's gang stalking me at the Starbucks at Ramona and Holt in Montclair, California. This is not over the edge of that Starbucks. This is not creating any sort of light activity that's going to be seen also in Montclair over that Starbucks. This is no sun that's going to be remaining through the window of Omnitrans as I am boarding in Ontario, going west on Holt Boulevard to then remain over that Starbucks. This is the entity that's engaging in that. And this is also serving to prosecute the government that is incentivizing violence against a woman. This is gang violence and furtherance of murder. This is exposing the Nephilim, and it's also exposing what is mental illness. This is P.O.C. Ontario Airport is engaged in what is sexual violence. I'm going to criminally prosecute, and I'm also going to civilly prosecute in ways in which have not been contemplated under federal law. Okay, this is impossible with regard to also being seen through the entrance of the Ovid Family Community Library at 5:39 p.m. That's not a sun that would be over me at the Ontario Town Square at 9:45 a.m. like I documented, reminding you about that this morning. And then it's still there in this manner while I'm inside of the Ovid Family Community Library, and the fake sun is in alignment with my face, where no matter how deep inside of the building, which that's non-movement of a fake sun. But not only that, this is not coexisting with that fake sun that's in alignment as you're looking at the entity that's very much engaged in asininity, which I kept careful and diligent record of in order to prosecute the mentally ill who are obsessively stalking in furtherance of murder, sharing what is their mental illness to torture and torment another person that's not supposed to have a voice. I'm going to prosecute for that. Okay, the entity tortures and targets, sexually violates, and also physically harms, mentally harms before they murder. And this is conduct that domestic terrorists that are calling themselves police departments. This is what Mike Lorenz and Jason Reed share. It is impossible that the sun will be over Starbucks and Montclair over me. It is impossible that it will be over me at Ontario Airport, where it's over this building. It's 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 12, 11, 10, 7 hours, 6 hours, 7 hours, 8 hours earlier. And if you're going to what was the brick wall where demons are gang stalking, engaging in surveillance, I said it's not traffic, it's surveillance. It was over this brick wall in alignment to this hallway of this hotel where I'm inside, the same building, in other words, at 7:39 in the morning. It didn't go anywhere. None of this is sunlight, and my shadow would not be here if the sun was anywhere else other than what is being over in this environment. These are the people of the state that are sex offenders, and I documented their license plates. They're engaged in surveillance, and they're psychopaths that engage in more violence, maintaining earthquake activity. Everything that demons do is amplified in volume, by the way. Everything that demons do with regard to stalking with light, while they're driving in this, they're shooting light at you. Those are the mentally ill gang stalking at F Street and Euclid Avenue. This is P.O.C. It is currently 5:16 p.m. This is documenting the city of Montclair and juxtaposing that with the city of Ontario. That's just one angle of analysis. This is the prosecution of the state of California. This is the public investigation of the U.S. government. P.O.C.